Do you speak English?
Yes.
Really? I doubt that. All right. My name is Sergey Trotskiy, and I'm going to be your host for the next hour. And I'm pleased to meet you too. Well, and as you can see, the financial literacy. Who knows what the financial literacy? Really? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Right. Just a couple of words about myself. I'm going to be clicking right here. No. Okay. Right. So I've been doing lots of things, and since 14 I've been in business. So now I'm 37, and I've got 3 kids, and the oldest one, she's like you, teenager. But I've been doing many things. I've been working for corporations. I had my own business, actually 2 businesses, and lots of things. I mean, positive things like earning money, spending money, and so on. So I've got a question which I always ask on these kind of events, and the question is related to money. So I want you to be as serious as possible. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. So who wants more money? Really? Okay. And the second question is checking. Really serious. Who wants not just more money, but money that will keep always and forever? Raise your hand and say, I want.
I want.
Okay, so that's why we're here. Have you heard of Robert Kiyosaki or Brian Tracy or these kind of financial gurus? Yes. All right, those people actually are my teachers. So I've been studying lots of things from them. Like here in Russia and abroad. I've been doing many things. And I've got 2 engineering degrees and 1 MBA in project management. But finance and financial literacy itself, it's a kind of a thing I've been doing since, well, for 5 years now. And this is an interesting thing because finance itself, it's a very wide thing. And you have to think of it from these perspectives. Like, why do you need it for? What do we need it for? Actually, literacy itself is a wide thing. And thinking of financial literacy, you can fix many troubles. You can predict many things in advance. Speaking of, well, let me show you something. As for this thing, financial literacy is a tool, and you can tool your brain for the future. Because you are now teenagers, like 16, 15, right? 17? Yes. 17, 18. All right, okay. So the last class, right? And then the university. Great. So, what is money? Who knows what money is? Paper. Right, okay. Give me more options.
It's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Give me more things.
It's a very good thing.
A very good thing. Usually, actually, well, let's look at the history. The history tells us that money is a universal means of exchange. So in the past, we had gold, we had silver, all these things that people usually exchange to something. So like you've been doing some good things like you're a fisher or a hunter or something like that. And so you can exchange your goods to money. Is this clear, right?
Yes.
These days, money is a virtual thing, so you cannot touch it. Well, if you have a bank account, who's got a bank account? Right, okay, so you cannot touch it physically, but it's still somewhere there, right? It's like in my pocket. I've got some notes here. And yeah. And I've got a question. How much do you really need? Give me just a...
All money.
All money in the world.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't be shy.
$10,000 on the month.
A lot. I've heard a lot. What else?
Not at all.
Not a lot. The more the better.
It depends on your lifestyle.
Okay. Have you ever seen the banknote with a lot on it?
No.
Or maybe the more the better? It's actually a certain thing. So it should be a banknote with 1,000 rubles or $100 or something like that, right? So that's why I need you to think of this thing, of this really important and major thing in your beginning of the financial life. So think of the amount of money you would need for your life.
$1 billion.
Really? Is this enough?
I don't know.
You know what is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Name it.
It's Renata.
So this is the ruler. This is my son's ruler. So that's why it's really, kind of dirty. But anyway. So why do I need it? The ruler shows your life. So starting from scratch, and now you've got, let's say, 18, right? 17, 18, it's somewhere here. And your life length or lifetime is like 85, 90, 100 years old, right? Something like that. So you've already lived like 17, okay? Okay.
It's really
17. And most probably you're going to be working till 55, 60. Nobody wants to work till 70, right? 55, 70. Okay, I'm going to give you another ruler. But 70 is somewhere over here, right? No. So you won't be working right here. You won't be working there. You'll be resting your pension time, traveling with kids, your grandkids, and so on. So this is your life. Really, you've already lived 16 years or 17 years. And this time you're going to be resting. So for this amount of time, you have to earn your capitals. That's why I want you to think of financial literacy. This is extremely important. $1 billion, that's enough, actually. So it's like 85 minus 16, somewhere plus minus 59, 60 years old. Anyway, so this is your life. And that's why financial literacy is important. Right. So why is it important? Because you're going to be dealing with lots of situations during your life. Lots of things, lots of sometimes troubles and challenges. And thinking of it right now, you can predict or you can avoid many troubles, many situations, I'd say. So like planning your future, you said $1 billion.
Yeah.
What's the way you're going to earn it? Do you know?
No.
Well, stealing is just one option. But anyway, earns how? Sitting here, well, working hard. Yeah, right. So we think if we work hard, we can earn $1 billion. No, it's not. Making your dreams come true. Who's got dreams? Do you have dreams, right? Okay.
But it's not material.
It's not material, I agree. But have you ever counted your dreams? I mean, do you know how much is that car cost? Or that flat, or that apartment, or that dream job, or whatever? Have you ever counted your dreams?
Yes.
All right. So that's important. When you know the value, you can predict. You can choose the dream work. You can choose your lifestyle in accordance to your dreams. What else? Resources. It's not just about money. You mentioned that. So your dreams might be related not material world. But anyway, we live in a world that is connected to money. So even in the situation you want to think of charity, for example. Charity is not a material thing, but you have to deal with money somehow, dealing with funds, investors, hedge funds, etc. Share your success with others. It's about charity, really, because the more you give, the more you get. It's the rule of attraction, and it's a universal rule. Moving on. You're here, right?
Yeah.
But every segment is actually, it means a lot if we talk about money. So at the age of 5 to 6 to 7, it's important to understand that money is not just a way to make your dreams come true. It's something that you have to deal with properly. The next, from 7 to 9 to 10 maybe, you're dealing with counting, cash, maybe something related to internet payments and so on. Like from 10 to 12, you're starting to deal with your phones, like phones and purchases and etc. The banking, accounting, online operations and so on. And so now you're in the beginning of your, let's say, real life, real financial life. So you mentioned you've got bank accounts. Who's got a credit cards? A debit cards. A debit, not credit. Okay. So for example, having your financial literacy pumped up, I'd say, if you start to deal with finance now, these days, from this year when you're 17, dealing with it step by step, but permanently, you can fix lots of things. I mean, you can avoid such things like, have you ever heard of your education, not the second education, I mean, not the university, but afterwards, like MBA, for example?
Yes.
All right, how much does it cost?
A lot.
Just a lot. Again, looking at the bill, there's no a lot actually. Anyway, for example, the acquisition of overpayment if we deal with loans. So you know what the loan is. The credits, loans, mortgage and so on. Because sooner or later you will face this. It's not a problem actually, it's just the next step, how to buy my own property. So now you live with your parents, with your schoolmates, etc. But sooner or later you will ask yourself, I want to live in that apartment. I want to go there. I want to buy that. And dealing with taxations, inflations, thinking of loans, thinking of overpayments and so on, this is the thing. I'm not going to give you any tools. I'm just trying to make you aware of these things. It's a wide field of information. And for example, savings and investments. Well, let's take an example. There is a savings, for example, savings of 10,000 rubles a month. How much is that a year? So 10,000 rubles a month. 120. In 5 years? Oh, lots of options. Come on. 600,000, right. 600,000. So if we just keep it as it is, in 5 years, most probably the inflation will eat the value of money. So it's going to be the same 600,000 rubles, right? With the same amount of zeros in the end. But the value of money will be less. Is this clear? All right. If we invest this money for, like, let's say 12% per annum, just 12% per annum, for a year and then for 5 years. How much is that?
More.
That's right. Using the compound percentage. Have you ever heard of compound percent?
Yeah.
So compound means every time you invest something, your margin will be added to another month and another month and another month. So in comparison with the first option, without investing, if we invest 10,000 rubles a month, in 5 years it's going to be 3.6 million rubles. 600,000, 3.6. Is this clear?
Yes.
Moving on. So investing is a smart thing. And this is your savings and investments. What else? Who's got Apple phone? iPhone. Right, lots of fans of Apple. I'm a big fan of Apple as well. Just imagine 2004, the share of Apple was, I'm not quite sure about the exact cost, but let's say 1,000 rubles for one share. In 10 years, the increase is 1,400%. Just imagine that. If you invested in 2004, you would have earned 1,400%. Isn't it great?
Yeah.
It's not bad, really. The same with cryptocurrencies now. Have you heard of cryptocurrencies? Blockchains, right. So this is very, very, well, from one point of view, it's a very attractive investment because you can earn 5, 6, 10,000%. On the other hand, it's actually very risky. So the more risky, the more profitable. Is this clear, right? So the inflation, I mentioned inflation. Inflation would never eat your zeros. So if it's $100, it's going to be $100 in 5 years, in 10 years, etc. But the value of $100 will be less. So dealing with these simple things, you might earn lots of money. And lots of knowledge is inside this knowledge. And using this knowledge, you can avoid, as I've already mentioned 3 times, you can avoid lots of troubles. No matter, by the way, no matter. I used to live in UK, in London, in Birmingham, so I've learned many things about their culture and their currency. Their currency is the most stable currency in the world. I mean, the pounds, you know. So investing in pounds from Russia is a very interesting and attractive investment, and more stable and more safe than investing in rubles in Russia, unfortunately. Moving on. The personal budget. Have you heard of personal budget?
Yes.
Do you have a personal budget?
Yes.
Or have you just heard about it?
No.
So you do savings?
Yes.
How much is that?
Bet.
10%, 30%?
35.
Really? So where do you keep your money?
And
The bank account. The bank account.
Yes.
Not in a pocket. Not in a can. Come on, it's the most important thing.
They have to work.
All right, they have to work. Important thing. What else? The dealing with your future jobs or future opportunities. Well, as employee, as an employer in the past, I know that dealing with young talents like you is a tricky thing because you have to earn lots of money doing not nothing really, not nothing, but because you've got no experience yet. You've got lots of knowledge after college, after university, but your experience, your background is still not enough to earn a huge amount of money. But in these days, it's not true, because you can earn lots of money dealing with social networks, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, enormous amount of money. But still, dealing with financial literacy, you can avoid lots of troubles, taxations, tax inspectors, and it's a pain in the neck. What else? You can actually analyze the financial information like credit agreements. So you're not dealing with credit cards yet, but sooner or later, after a year, maybe in a year, maybe 2 years, you will start doing that. You have to be aware of these agreements. Every point, how much money, how much obligations, what is this situation, what is that situation. So, and this is a part of financial literacy as well. What else? The employment. I've already mentioned employment it's an area where young talents, young people like you, had never had any experience before. So you can ask your parents, what is it about? How to start doing that? How to start looking for a right job for me, suitable for my talents and for my expectations, I mean salary expectations. But starting from now, you can actually explore lots of information over the internet. Especially who wants to go abroad, not to stay in Russia. Different countries. Even though you have to learn a lot about these things, about their law, about their relations between employer and employees. All right, some statistics from the U.S., from the European countries, and so on. It's an interesting thing that lots of people know how to deal with money, but never use these rules. never, I mean, for example, the threatening over the internet. So we, more or less, we deal with internet payments. And so, for example, for those who have the cards, the debit cards, right? Have you heard of 3 steps authorization?
No.
All right, do you use it?
Yes.
Okay, one man out of the group.
As always.
Great. So internet banking. Who's got a PayPal account, for example? No? Yandex Money? All right, 3. Kiwi. So you know these things, right? Moving on. This is the thing, and in the beginning of my presentation there was a blog about tips and tricks. So now this is the practical thing. If you want to have this presentation, I can copy it to you. So give me your email address, I'll send it to you. But those things are practically useful. So you can use them, you can apply these rules right now, especially thinking of threatening over the internet. Because internet is everywhere. Now, 97% of people, of young students, of young people in the US are online always, almost always. Just imagine, they live on the internet. In France, only 7%. In Russia, 14%. 14% of young students, well, young people, young generation, just 14%. Well, because of the development of networks and the 3G, 4G and all this stuff. Anyway, just imagine your money is under attack. I mean your wallet, your Kiwi wallet or your PayPal account or whatever. What is the first step?
To call the police? No.
To the bank.
To the bank. Right, so to go to the bank and block your card, block your account. If it's a PayPal, call PayPal, block my account. Because, you know, viruses, especially, well, the modern viruses, they can steal information about your passwords, about your logins, about everything you're dealing with the system, the financial system. So you can lose your access to the account and somebody can purchase something from internet, from your account. What else? Your smartphones. I mentioned these 3 steps authorization. So your finger,
Authorization.
yeah,
Oh, yes, we
you use it, great, but only you.
No.
So the first step is SMSs. Never, even, have you heard of social engineering? All right, it's going to be the next slide, but just I'm trying to make you aware. The social engineering is something like people might call you from the bank and say, hey, I'm calling on behalf of the Alpha Bank. Could you please, we've just sent you an SMS with the code. Could you please give me the code? But if you ever received an SMS from the bank, it says nobody can ask from the bank. Nobody can ask this information. So, never. But speaking of the communication, try to don't download any applications from the third parties, because they can steal your information. They can steal even from the Apple Store or from the Google Market. It's an important thing because third-party developers never guarantee that your data, your information will be safe. What else? Family access. Have you ever heard of family access? The family access, you can share one card to purchase lots of things, and it's safe. Even nobody is able to buy from your family or from your community. It's safe because all transactions will be sent to one card, one owner. It's really cool. What else? I've already mentioned the social engineering. These people exist, and sooner or later somebody will call you and ask you a question you will not be ready to answer. And so it's really easy to verify. First of all, you have to ask the title, the job title, the name, the last name, the middle name of the person, and his contact. If you receive these information, most probably it's a person from the bank or from that organization. This is clear, right? But anyway, sometimes people might hack your account in the social networks. Have you ever had this experience? The Facebook page, Skype, Contacte? Really, you know how it feels, right?
Very hard password.
Indeed. So two factors authorization, the password, and then the SMS. So this is the way to protect your data from the internet. But anyway, if it's related to your money, if it's connected to your bank account or your credit card, even though you have to think 3 times before giving someone your data or your password or whatever. And it also can be easily checked if someone is calling you saying like, hey, I've got troubles, my phone is, I don't know, stolen, and could you please, I'm calling from someone's phone, could you please give me some, transfer me some money? You can ask, first of all, well, like if your friend is a boxer or a karate or whatever, you can ask the question is which is related to the area where he belongs to or she belongs to. So it's really easy to check. You just have to ask a question, right? And the question will be the chicken one. What else? The question time. We still have time to, discuss things, and I'm here as an expert to help you with your existing, issues or whatever. And by the way, I've got a present. First of all, yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
But first of all, I want your questions, because I'm here to answer your questions as an expert in financial literacy. And every person will get a gift. Yeah, right. Why fun? No, I've got a... Yeah. Come on. I want you to be a millionaire. I want you to be millionaires, really. Okay, give me your questions. What? It's the name of my
How we
children.
can protect our account
Can you see please your passport?
in social network?
The social networks have almost every social networks have 2 factors authorization. So the SMS and your login and password. Turn it on, and that's it. Especially Facebook and so on. Yeah, come on.
Do you use as crypto value something like Bitcoin?
I've learned many things about that, and it's a part of my portfolio. So my investment portfolio has lots of things like shares, stocks, and so on, options. And it's a local assets, and it's abroad assets. I invest in UK, as I used to live there. And so my last investment is a parking spots in Heathrow Airport. Has any one of you been in Heathrow, in UK? Again, 2, 3, all right. So this is an interesting program. Heathrow expands all the time. Every year it expands. I mean, they do build lots of things. And quite recently they've opened a new parking area with 100,000 something spots. So I've purchased a couple of these spots. It's a good investment, 12% per annum, just in case. What else?
Where do you walk?
Right, okay, give me...
Who are you?
Who am I? Right,
What's your salary?
this is me.
Which company?
So the last company I worked at was Harman International. So this is my business card. So Harman International quite recently was purchased by Samsung. So you've heard Samsung, right? And Harman is a part of the bigger corporation. Have you heard of JBL speakers or AKG? So those brands belong to Harman. So this is a big corporation. And I used to work there. I left Harman 4 months ago, and now I'm a freelancer again. As I told you, I had 2 businesses before. From 2003 to 2008, I had my own company, and it was about smart homes and home automation. You know, like lighting control, heating control, multimedia control, and so on. And because of the crisis 2008, I sold my company. And then I had another company, and now I'm a freelancer again. And since August, this year, August, I've been doing consulting and finance, project management. Because, you know, I've got engineering degrees, and so I can deal with engineering stuff easily. But in addition to that, I've got MBA in project management. So I'm helping people to earn. My mission actually is helping people to earn their first $1 million. That's why I have this $1 million with me. But anyway, yeah. Additionally, you can Google me. You can Google me. This is my website, and you can Google me, Sergey Trotskiy, in Russian, in English, whatever. I've got my success story and my personal story, so you can learn lots of things about me.
Can I take your visit card?
Yeah, sure.
Can you give us any recommendation where we can walk in our age?
Yeah, this is a good state. Well, first of all, you have to look inside and ask yourself where my soul belongs to. It's an important thing. I actually started my career when I was 14 as a computer engineer. So I've been kind of studying lots of things before, and then when I became a computer engineer, my task or my target was to teach people how to deal with computers. So it was like 1994 when I was 14, and computers, they kind of weren't so developed as now. And so it was like big boxes with lots of cables and so on. So now computers, the modern computers is like this size, right? But that time computers were big. And so I started my conscious career. I'm not talking about just time-to-time work. It was my conscious decision. And so this is my father, by the way. And yeah, and he was watching me doing this stuff from the age of 14. Then 17 was my first university. Then 21 was the second university. 27 was MBA. So lots of things, and I've been doing this stuff based on my kind of desires. So answering your question, it's actually, you have to ask yourself, what do I really want to do? I mean, if you think communication with people, it's yours, or communication with dealing with computers, or programming, or maybe music scoring, or whatever. So think of your hobbies. And this is actually the area where you can make your path towards your, I don't kind of dreams and goals. And this is the way. I've been doing many things, but my basic thing and my basic mission is to deal with people, to teach them, to inspire them, and to coach them. I'm coach as well. So coaching is a kind of, double-sided win-win situation. So people win, I win, and we win together. All right.
What is your salary?
I have no salary now. I'm unemployed. But previously my salary was 500,000 rubles a month. Yeah. I'm a millionaire, and I've been doing many things I've got my financial protection. Have you heard of safety pad, for example? Safety pad. No. So I've got another exercise for you. Do we have a pencil here? Yeah. So, is this okay to write? Okay. Great, it works. Safety pad. We're talking about financial safety pad, all right? So, what is it about? So you've got a job, everything goes okay, and suddenly your chief comes to you and said, "You're fired." and you've got nothing. You've got no savings. You've got nothing to spend on the next month. What kind of job will you start looking for? Actually,
Say this in the sport management.
I'm talking about what kind of job, not the specific. What kind of job will you start looking for?
Some basic jobs, something about survival.
To survive, that's right. Any job. Having safety pad is actually your monthly expenses. For example, you spend 50,000 rubles a month on your own. It's like rental, renting the flat or whatever, food, your entertainment, your phones, and etc. So 50,000 rubles. It's actually multiplied by 6. So 50,000 rubles multiplied by 6 is... Yeah, really shy. Come on, guys. This is your safety pad. Having 300,000 rubles as a safety pad, what kind of job will you start looking for?
Normal job where you can get the normal payment.
That's right. The better job. Not just job. Not the job that will bring you some money. Not any job. You will start looking for good job, for big salary, because you've got 6 months in advance. You can actually spend a week resting, then another week for going to HRs and any business meetings. And you can go for vacation, for example, for a month, because you've got 6 months in advance with your safety pad. What else? You mentioned $1 billion, right? As the next. No, that's not freedom. What is it? The financial independence. What do you think of it?
Well, you don't depend from your parents or friends anymore.
That's right. Not only parents, but independence itself. It's like when you don't depend on anything related to earning money. What's the way it works? So you've got 6 amount of your monthly expenses, right? Monthly expenses. But financial independence is actually, 200. Your minimal expenses. For example, your monthly expenses is 50,000 rubles. What is the minimal expenses? Just give me a guess. 20, okay.
It depends if you want to be financially independent. It has to be.
We're now talking about minimal expenses. It's a kind of slightly below the survival line. So you can eat, you can rent a flat. 25. All right, so 25 multiplied by 200. Come on, guys.
500,000.
Is this okay?
Yeah.
Right. 5 million rubles invested by at least 15% per annum will give you your monthly expenses, minimal monthly expenses, automatically. If you invest $5 million with 15% per annum, you would get your minimal expenses automatically. You don't have to spend your time, you don't have to work, because this is the power of compound percentage. This is clear. So Bodo Schäfer, for example, this is a German investor and economist and a financial literacy trainer as well. His main, Bodo Schäfer, so his main target when he was a teenager like you, his dream and his wish was to earn as much money as enough to reinvest. For example, you've got 100,000 million rubles. Investing this amount, let's take 10% per annum. How much is that? 10% out of 100 million. Come on. 10 million. 10 million rubles, right? Divided by 12. How much is that? Use your phones, guys. We've got lots of Apple fans here. 1.2. Really? Divided by 12.
0.8.
Yeah.
And then
And what?
3. All right. Let's clear it. So that means 800,000 rubles, right? 830. This is your salary every month. Is this enough? No?
Yes. No.
Okay.
For a month?
For a month, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is your monthly salary out of the investments of 100 million rubles. The question is how to earn 100 million. Invest another? This is, well, I've got an interesting task. So it's actually a part of your homework, right? Yeah, homework, why not? How would you spend $1 million? Yeah, it's a good homework. I've done it before, and it's actually not really easy to spend $1 million. These days it's like 57 million rubles, right? So just mark it everywhere in your homework, in your...
big house with the car.
All right, okay. There will be some left anyway.
Million girls.
Million girls. All right.
Well, just the first one, you can just invest it and don't care about your life.
That's true. Usually people spend a lot, but investing it, well, it's not 1 million, it's almost 1.7 right here. But still, spending $1.7 million will give you nothing in the end, right? You just spend it. Like Mike Tyson. Have you heard of Mike Tyson? The boxer, right? He spent $10 billion. He's got lots of debts now. Unfortunately, he's a very talented guy. However, investing this money, well, you can buy a car, right? How much is it? Let's take 10 million rubles. Porsche Panamera. 10 million rubles. Even 7. You can Google, by the way. I had a test drive of Porsche Panamera in YouTube on my channel. So it's a car. It's just a car. So just a car, right? But you've got 90 left. What else? A very...
Maybe try to found your own company.
That's a tricky thing. You can, well, there is no certain amount to invest in your own company, in your business.
If you will invest, you will have some amounts that you will not profit, and you can...
Yeah. So it's like a weight, you know. Investing in your own company, from this money, there's no guarantee you will survive. Because following the statistics, 9 out of 10 companies will die in a year. 9 out of 10 startups will die. Unfortunately, only one.
You will buy house.
A house, okay, a nice house at Rublovka is like 30 million rubles. Minus 30. So you still have 60. That's a nice house. Depends on your desires, but anyway, when I had my own company, I used to work on Rublovka a lot. For 30 million rubles, you can buy a nice house. Yeah. You mean generally? Oh, yeah, very. Because, you know, working... What's that?
How old is your father?
65? Yeah, he looks nice, he looks nice. He's a pretty handsome guy, that's true. All right, guys, come on, let's concentrate. Any other questions? Because you've got a chance to ask any questions right now. I will leave, you will...
What universities have you finished?
Universities, yeah. The first one is I'm from Norilsk. It's a Siberian city far behind Polar Circle. So the first university is Norilsk State University. And it's a mining engineer. Boring stuff. The second one is a St. Petersburg University of Cinematographic and Television. So, yeah, but as an engineer, not as a TV host, as an engineer. And the third MBA, it's a German, I've got German MBA degree. It's a Bad Harzburg Project Management University. So that's it.
What was the first step of your success?
I'd say my desire. I was kind of keen to start to be independent from my parents. So, and at the age of 11, well, I had my first business when I was in the first class. Yeah, it's in my story as well. So, I'm not quite sure if you know, there were kind of era of ZX Spectrum computers. So without DVDs, it was cassettes. And so my first business was selling computer games to my schoolmates. So yeah, I was that kind of guy, sales guy. So when I was 12, the mother of my friend asked us to sell some berries. As I'm from Siberian city, we had some berries like strawberries and wild berries and so on. So and we had a slate, you know, like Sankey slate, and lots of berries on these slates. And my friend and I, we went to a big grocery store, and in front of that store, we sold this slate full of berries for an hour, something like that. So it was my second business. And at the age of 14, it was my conscious career. So I started doing this stuff, dealing with computer mastery and so on. And I've learned a lot, by the way. So my customers, by that time I was 14, but my customers, they were like 35, 40, 50 sometimes. And they taught me a lot of things about business and especially financial literacy, really, because I've learned many things, many tricks, how to use money, how to invest money, reinvest money, about debts, loans, and this is a part of this stuff. By the way, what is going on after the financial independence? What is the next step, if you know? Dominating is from another area. It's actually... Right, what is that? Financial freedom, the most desirable thing, the most wishful thing. It exists, no. Lots of people. Just open the Forbes list. This is the financial freedom. You can afford everything. You can afford anything in your life because you're financially free, not just independent. Dependence, it's like you're connected to sources, connected to job, connected to your investment portfolio, something like that. But here, you're free. It's not because you're Trump, right? You're not living somewhere. Not Trump, I mean, there is Donald Trump, but there is Trump lying on the road. The Trump, I mean, this kind of Trump. Okay, financial freedom is actually 200 multiplied by your desirable income. All right? And you mentioned $1 billion. Is this your desirable income? A month? A year? A life?
A month.
A month. How would you spend it? No, that's a lot of money. I've got another recommendation, by the way, guys. Just write this down. This is an interesting movie. Stirs millions. All right. Just, is this clear? Do you see it? Brewster's Millions. This is a movie, 1985. I was 5 years old. You weren't exist at that time. Anyway, so the Brewster's Millions is a story of the guy, of the baseball player, who was asked by his heritage fund to spend $30 million for 30 days. It's a tricky thing to spend $30 million, even these days, for 30 days, without buying anything, without investing, without just gifting.
You can't buy it. How you will spend it?
Watch the movie. Watch the movie. Brewster's Millions. Yeah. You can Google it. It's available. Brewster's Millions.
Maybe he was just taking money, taking his Zippo.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot burn it. I was intrigued. Yeah, when I was watching that movie, during the movie, I was intrigued. The baseball player, he's not really smart, really. He's a baseball player. And $30 million for 30 days, it's a trick, it's a challenging thing. So you mentioned $1 billion a month, even a day. How would you spend it? Really, when you answer this question, then you might be having a chance to earn this money. Because without these targets, the financial independence, financial freedom, and the safety pad, safety cushion, you would never earn more money. Because it should be a certain amount of money. When you say, I want more money, okay, 1 ruble more. This is more money? Of course. 1 coin more. It's more money? More. If you need really big amount of money, how much is that? Think of it. As a part of your homework, think of it, yeah. $1 million, how would you spend it? Just write an essay for yourself. Really easy. All right, more questions. We've got like 15 minutes.
Send it on your mail.
Yeah, sure. I can give you my email. Well, it's not here. I can write it down. All right, so I will write my emails over here. I'm joking. No, I will write it here. Come on. Okay. This is my email. I'm open for any. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's figure out. Sir, Tro.
Oh.
All right? Yeah, really tricky. I'm a mysterious guy. Okay, any other questions? Come on.
How it feels to get so much money? Like,
It feels nice when you can control it.
I think when you have a lot lots of things, it feels like you've reached everything and you're like have nothing to spend money for.
No, it's not really. Let me show you something, guys. If you're really interested, every career in the world works like that. So you've got a certain amount of knowledge, and you're here. For example, you're now entering an adult life, right? So after the teenager, you're now adult. You're here. And you start walking this road. You start walking, and sometimes it's a bumpy road, sometimes it's like here. But anyway, and sooner or later, there is a certain step up. All right, so this is your career growth. This is your new stair. This is your new step, right? You've got a job. Or you've quite recently, you've changed your job from here to here. You've got new salary. You've got new everything. And you think it's a new life. So, for example, your salary was like 50,000 rubles a month, and now your salary is 200. Wow, 4 times. Isn't it great, right? To make this big step in your future. And so you start moving this road now. And in a month or maybe in a year, it feels like this amount of money belongs to you for a long time. You are used to using it. And it feels like you're spending 200K like you used to spend 50K. And then it's time to move up. But every step feels like a new step here. And you do this step again. And your salary now is 350. Another job, or job plus business. So you start moving this path. It's a bumpy road. The more you get, the more bumpy your road. It's a challenging path. But anyway, isn't it a upwards trend? Of course, you're growing. Well, sooner or later, it'll stop because your amount of money will be enough, or you think it's enough. But anyway, every step, every new step feels like a new step, and it feels like a starting platform. Because being here, this is nothing. You think like, oh, I've already achieved it. I've already been there. It's really nothing. How can I get there? I don't know yet, but I need to go, I need to move forward. But being here, looking here, you think, I've been here, I've been there. I know the way it works. I know how it feels. So it's like every time you do this step, you're starting from scratch, from zero. Yeah.
Are the marks in school very important?
What's that?
Marks at school.
Marks at school. I'd say marks, well, the general education at school, it's like being able to learn how to learn. Because, you know, marks generally means nothing. They mean nothing. Because it's your ability to suit the system. The system requires you to learn something and then to play it or to reproduce it. Teachers, they expect you to learn a certain amount of information, and they represent this amount of information, and based on this representation, they can judge. But there is something inside you. If your soul belongs to math instead of literature, for example, or to art, you can focus on that area. Because open the Forbes list. 50 people out of 100, their marks weren't brilliant. Like Steve Jobs, for example. His marks were B+, C. But the school is an ability to learn how to learn, study how to study. And in a university, at university, I mean, you can be even more independent. At school, teachers kind of pressure you. They push you to suit the system, to fit a certain amount of requirements. But at the university, you're on your own. And so there is amount of knowledge, there is amount of requirements, and the more you know, the better you can communicate with professors and all these people. But again, it's a system, because there is a phrase: a kid in kindergarten, then school, then university, then real job, right? When you hear your, I have no idea, your keeper, your, well, people who watch children, babysitters. So the babysitters, they say, okay, you have to learn this. Once you went to school, your teacher said, forget everything you've learned at kindergarten. It's not gonna be valuable. Then you went to university. Your professor says, forget everything you learned at school. What the hell? I spent such amount of money and such amount of time. But then you went to school, from school to your job, and your boss says, forget everything. Just forget. It's not going to happen. I will teach you how to work right, really. I'm the boss. You're nothing.
No, it's not true.
So, thinking of this system, you can kind of adjust your way of education. As for me personally, I'm not a brilliant... Well, the MBA, it's an important thing. And I was 27 when I started my MBA. And I paid a lot of money for this education. But it was a conscious choice. Because I knew what would happen if I couldn't pass the exams. Because I would need to pay another amount and so on. But here, first university, well, it was a desire of my father, and the second university was my personal choice, and the MBA was the conscious choice. So this is it. Right. I see no more questions. Russian, bad Russian, English, German.
Bad Russian.
Well, we all know bad Russian. Comrade. So yeah, actively I use two foreign languages, German and English. Ich spreche Deutsch, aber schlecht. And English, it's my common thing, because I used to work for international companies, so it's all in English, and we communicate in English. And in business, by the way, it's really helpful if you can communicate with people on their language. It's really helpful and valuable. The card, yeah. It's not valid yet because I left Harman, but this is it. Come on, guys. This is my email, so you can write me. Okay. If no more questions, I've already mentioned I want you to become millionaires. This is my target and this is my mission. So I've got a couple of $1 million here. Yeah, now you're serious. And so come to me and I will give you $1 million, and that's it. The class is over. Thank you so much, by the way. Thank you. Good luck. 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 And success in life. Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. 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 Finish.